Hello, 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 hello. Just waiting for some more people to come on, and it's good to see you this evening. And we are doing the Friday night fellowship on Thursday. Um, because tomorrow night begins homecoming, and I'll be actually watching it from home, and so I have a few days off. And hope you guys brought some snacks. I brought my Oreos. Gonna be munching on these while we have our fellowship time tonight. And I got my water and my cup of soda. It's Dr. Thunder. It's good. It's a good soda. I like it. And so it's good to be here. And I'm wondering how I can get the word out here. Maybe I can. I'm wondering how I can. Oh, that's me. I wonder if I can actually add more people. Let's see. Just out of curiosity, for those of you that are on, thinking about maybe, depending on how I don't want to say popular, but depending on how well this goes, I'd like to maybe do a Facebook group. And I posed the question and asked the question if that was something that, if I created a group, would you all like be a part of that group and stuff like that? And so far it seems like there's positive responses, and so I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But if you all have something on mind, please do share. And it's just a time to just chill and relax and just talk. And if you have anything you'd like to maybe add or say, you just feel free to put in the comments there. I am going to be putting this on YouTube. I have a special section on my YouTube channel labeled as Friday Fellowship Nights, Friday Night Fellowship. And so I will be, Lord willing, I'll be putting those on there as well. But the thing is, the last one we did, which was about 6 days ago, when I posted that one onto Facebook, they had issues with the music. So I won't be doing any music on any of these, just because I don't want to get myself in trouble in any way on that. So just kind of an FYI. So I'm just gonna send a message here on Facebook, see if anyone gets it. Has commenced. I cannot. You know what? It's been such a long day. I cannot. It's been a long day, so. Oh, hey, brother. Hey, love you. Good to see you on. So I wanted to ask. So I know it seems like everyone would be okay with me creating a group, because in that way, from the group, I can kind of do this, and and you don't have to show up for every single fellowship thing. Drop in here and there. But I'd like to. The reason why I want to do a Friday night fellowship is because with where we are at in our nation, with everything going on and just the days darkening, we really need to have fellowship. The Bible does say, "Forsake not the assembly of yourselves together, like some is," as you see the day approaching. Okay, so even though that we may be so far apart, I think that fellowship is important, and so these won't be any preaching or teaching videos. These all right, brother. God bless you. We'll see you later. Okay. God bless you. Love you. You stay safe. Anyways, so it's important, I think, to have fellowship, to have that fellowship. I think this will be a good time, to do this. I think also be a good time we can encourage each other in the Lord, and just be able to just be there for each other. Amen. And even though it's not a preaching or teaching set of videos, you can certainly always go and if you have any prayer requests, you can either shoot me you can either mention it on here or you just shoot me a message. Okay, you could shoot me a message. Oops, hang on. There we go. You can just shoot me a message. Pretty much just on the messenger, depending on how you all want to go about that. So yeah, I guess we'll just sort of have to just kind of wait and just kind of see who shows up, and we'd like to see some people come in if they can. If not, cool. Whatever works, right? So I wonder. Let's see. I wonder if there is any way how I can invite people. That's not what I wanted. Okay. I sent the word out, so we'll see if anybody comes on. But anyways, I don't want to make this all about me talking, but feel free to share things. If there's something on your mind or you want to talk about, go ahead, share it. Whatever works. This is really a time to fellowship. Fellowship, talk, and chillax and relax and all that stuff. Amen. So I don't want this to be just all about me. This is about everybody. So, Send text. Are you wanting me to send you one, or are you sending me one? I'm a little confused. Just a little confused. Let's see. Wasn't quite sure. Not quite sure what you mean. I'm gonna pop open my Oreos. Look at that. You can't go wrong with an Oreo. So, yeah, today was kind of a long day. I, um, Today was a bit of a long day, but it, kind of nice just to kind of chill out and relax. Got the next 3 days off. I wonder if there is a thing that I can try to add more people. I'm not sure. But we'll see who all drops in this evening. And, sister, it's good to see you. Thank you for dropping by. Normally we do this on a Friday, but we're doing it Thursday instead. Just for this week. Next week we'll do it on Friday. I wonder if I can, let's see here. Anyway, so what is on everyone's mind? What do you all want to talk about? You guys see this? Look at this. Look at that. Look at that nice, delicious cookie. I'm eating Oreos for our dessert. And I got my soda. And my water. Ice cold water. I don't know how many people we're going to get on here tonight, but hopefully we can get at least a few. That would be good. We've been at this for about 13 minutes, so it's still kind of young. Give some people time to kind of stumble onto the chat room. I don't want to say chat room. That sounds really bad, but you know, the video. Ugh. Let's see. Anyways. Oops. Oh, there you go. All right. So, what is on everyone's mind, or what is on your mind? What is it? What would you like to talk about? What would just any prayer requests, any praises, just whatever comes to mind. It was good. And I'm going to try to see if I can add some more people. Share in a group. That's not what I want. I don't know. There is something on here. Let's see. What's this? Oh, there we go. That's the screen I was looking for. Let's see. I'm going to try to get some more people. Yeah, I could. I could send a text. I could send a message. I actually did put something on Facebook, letting them know it's begun. So it could just take. I mean, people cipher off and on. So if it's just two of us, great. Hey, listen. If it's only the two of us, that's fine. Better than no one. So, we actually did have a fellow brother that came in a little bit and had to go. Had to get he had to get some food, I believe. Anyways. So I'm thinking about maybe doing, I'm thinking, depending on how well this goes and stuff like that, I'd like to create a group. And create a group called Friday Night Fellowship. And I would stream live those from that particular group. And I would kind of sort of branch out onto my own Facebook page. So I don't know what your thoughts are on. Also, I will take any suggestion and idea into account. So if you all have any ideas how to make these videos better, I am willing to do that, and willing to give shout outs, and willing to eat food while I talk to y'all. You know, look at that, nice. Look at that big bag of Oreos. I don't know how you can get any better than that. That's huge. Big bag. I haven't eaten all of it yet. For one guy like me, it's taken about a couple weeks to go through all of it. Yeah, that's what happens when you pop the lid. Everything else falls. Not a good idea. Well, you could always have Skipper come and sniff up these Oreos. Except dogs can't have chocolate. And shoot, I don't know if I've dropped any more. I did, kind of right by my foot. Man, I don't know. So I'm not expecting a whole lot of people to come on tonight because, of course, people are probably traveling, and I know there are people on their way to Bethel at the moment, or going to. But anyways, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, dogs can't have chocolate. They just absolutely can't have chocolate because it is one of those things that is like poison to them. But I'm sure if he had the chance, he'd eat all my Oreos. Which, any dog who eats all my Oreos is a bad dog. No milk bones for dogs that eat my Oreos. These are my Oreos, man. My Oreos. That's good. One of the ideas I know, right? LOL. I have set up a thing on my YouTube account that I put my videos up specifically for fellowship time. I actually did put a video up. It was only like 2 minutes, basically outlining that that I will be doing these kind of things on Fridays in that I am doing this week's just today. A lot of people so far, well, not a lot of people, but those that I've spoken to and laid out the question on putting it on or making a group, seemed to think it was a good idea. However, not everyone is able to tune in. So we, which is fine. So we, let's see, what was it? Last week, 6 days ago, when we did one of these, we had about 3-4 people on, which is not too bad. But we had but the participation was amazing. It was I looked at the amount of comments that were laid and actually laid out. It was 229 comments. So it was a very active conversation. We had some very active conversations and questions and stuff like that last 6 days ago. Might be a little bit slower tonight. That's probably, but I have my reasons of doing it tonight, not tomorrow. But I would like to create a group so where I could stream from it, and I will also with that download the video and upload it to YouTube. But these types of videos, I will not upload a sermon audio for a reason, and the reason for that is these videos are not preaching or teaching. They're a little bit more, way more laid back, and there's not really any, it's just a time to fellowship. But I also what I like to do is take the fellowship that we have and then get it out on the internet. That way people can, watch those videos that they like. And it will kind of seem one-sided because the fact that, it seems like I'm just talking and talking and talking and all that stuff. But, I don't have, I could do these on YouTube, but the problem with that is I don't have enough subscribers. I only have 43 subscribers, and that's not even near enough to what I need to actually go and actually stream live from YouTube. But I would like to do that if I can. Unfortunately, the Word of God is not popular, so it's just it's difficult to get really high amount of subscribers, and some of them you really don't know because you get all sorts of people that subscribe. So if y'all watching this on YouTube or will watch this on YouTube, just to kind of give you a little peace of mind, I'm not doing one-sided conversations. I'm doing this straight from Facebook, and there are people that do comment and question and ask things and request prayer and stuff like that. So it's not just me, but it's everybody that is involved that types everything in, right? So that's the deal. Woo. Oh, Bluey. So what's all on your minds? Anything y'all want to talk about? Anything that just could be just some sort of random thing, but could be anything really. But what do you all? What's all on your minds? It's a little warm in here. Woo. Food. Well, what are y'all hungry for? You hungry for burgers, pizza? Just green bean casserole? Oh wait, that's a green bean casserole is more of a seasonal food. That's not a. I mean, you can obviously eat it whenever, but you typically associate green bean casserole with like Thanksgiving and Christmas and all that. But I guess if we want to talk about food, I had a frozen pizza for supper, and came home and took a nice long warm shower. Stepped out into the air conditioning. Boy, did it feel good, especially after a hard day's work. It felt good. It really did. Let's see. Favorite food or favorite pizza? That's kind of a loaded question because it doesn't really have a specific type of food. But if you're asking me my favorite pizza, I would say that would be, and depending on the place, Canadian bacon and pineapple. Now, okay, so check this out. I don't know any food. Okay, well, pizza's my favorite. But there's actually a food that's really more Canadian. I mean, I think you could probably find it at certain different places here in the U.S., but there is a food that I would love to try. And I've actually seen. Okay, so there is a particular person. I won't mention his name, but there's a particular person that I watch on YouTube, and he's a YouTuber from Canada. That's what he makes his living off. He makes his living on YouTube. It's through YouTube that he pays his bills and pays for his cars and all that stuff. And that'd be kind of cool, right? To make your living on YouTube. And he does like stealth camping and stuff like that. But when you go to Canada, I've seen him get this, particularly like at McDonald's and Wendy's and stuff like that, and different fast food joints like Popeyes. They have this. It's a Canadian dish. It's called a poutine. Now, you might ask yourself, well, what in the world is a poutine? Well, a poutine is basically it's fries, gravy, like brown gravy with fries and cheese curds. Okay, they call that a poutine. Now that is a Canadian thing, and I'm pretty sure that there is probably very few places in the U.S. that can get such a food item. And there's one place called New York Fries. Excuse me, New York Fries. And they've got poutine there. At least the ones in Canada that I know in Canada. But maybe in the US too. But like if you go to like Canada to like a fast food restaurant, if you went to like Wendy's or McDonald's or something like that, you can actually order like a poutine with a burger. And I've never had a poutine before. That would be kind of cool to actually, that might be kind of cool to actually make sometime. To make like a homemade poutine, and because all it is it's fries, like like fried French fries, and then brown gravy with cheese curds, like all mixed in, and that in itself is like a meal to what I've seen and heard and stuff like that. But I've always wanted to try a poutine. I think that'd be kind of cool. What's this? Oh, so, but I would seriously would consider eating a poutine, trying it out and tasting it to see what it tastes like. 'Cause I bet you that sounds really good. I mean, to me, anyways, that sounds good. French fries and brown gravy and cheese curds. Mix all that in there. That's what you get as a poutine. Um, Probably find some recipes online too. Um, I'd say my top favorite food is pizza. I do like pasta as well. I like Italian food, and I like Mexican food, and so it's I'm kind of I'm not too I'm not too picky at what I eat. There's just certain things I won't eat anymore. I used to eat it and not anymore. If you know what I mean. Hmm. So, oh, that's weird. So, what is everyone's favorite food? Everyone that's on here. It says one, but there are times that there might be an extra person or two. It seems like, I mean, sometimes it's this whole thing is kind of weird because you can get people not realize they're on. But what is everyone else's favorite food? Hmm. Well, okay, I kind of figured. I'm guessing Taco John's. 30 tacos from Taco John's. Good times. That's what my guess would be. Yep. Yep, yep. Yep. Um, hmm. I uh, I have an unspoken prayer request. 5 for 5. How about 5 for 25? Oh, oh boy, oh, I couldn't resist. Um, I have a prayer request, and I'm not going to say what it is. Um, and I'm not going to particularly say exactly what it is for certain reasons. I won't. Yeah, that is a lot of tacos. Um, So, anyways, I've got this prayer request. I need you all to pray for me for. Um, I'm not even going to explain what it is or anything like that. It's just a unspoken prayer request. God knows. God knows. Ooh, you know what? I wonder. I want to see if I can try to. Let's see here. I wonder if I can. Let's see here. I'm inviting people, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see. So yes, if you could pray for me, unspoken, that would be good. That would be good. Now back to the tacos. Yes, 25 for 5 would be a lot of tacos. It really would be. So I am. I think I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but I am not going to be. The reason why I'm doing this today instead of tomorrow is because tomorrow night begins homecoming at Bethel Church. So I am going to be watching that on my TV. I'm going to be watching that live because they do stream live. So I won't even be doing any videos for the weekend. This is going to be my this weekend is basically my staycation. Stay at home vacation is what that is. So, and I call it a staycation. So my staycation begins tonight and ends on Sunday evening. Sunday evening, because yeah, because I'll go back to work on Monday. So, So what else? What's on your mind? What would you all like to say? I don't want it all to be about me. Obviously, I'd like to have people interact and you know. Only thing that's kind of different is just typing, you know. And so, you know, just whatever comes to mind, whatever you all want to talk about, you know. And we got a second person on here, praise the Lord. Let's see, who else dropped by? You know, it's weird. It says it has 2 viewers, but I'm not able to see who it is. It's weird. Don't know why. It won't actually pull up. It's weird. This thing is so weird. Facebook is kind of weird. When are you going to use the crock pot? That's a good question. I don't know yet. I haven't. That perfect occasion hasn't popped up yet. Either that perfect occasion or if I see something that, ooh, you know what I should do? I need to, I'll tell you what. I would like to, like I said, I'd like to try poutine. Okay? Which, again, French fries, gravy, and cheese curds. I wonder if I can actually cook a poutine in that in my crock pot. I wonder if I can do that without burning the French fries. But I bet I might be able to. I should make like a. There you go. That works. Um, I actually kind of wonder if there's any poutine recipes. Um, Poutine recipes. Oh, there we go. Like I said, poutine is a Canadian food. Here we go. Authentic Canadian poutine recipe. Um, oh boy. When it comes to poutine, it's really all about the cheese curds. Um, Real cheese curds are what makes a poutine authentic. Cheese curds are simply solid pieces of curdled milk that can be either eaten alone or as a snack, or in Canada added to fries and gravy to make poutine. Cheese curds can be found in white or yellow color. White cheese curds are the ones you want for a poutine. Oh, so yeah, I can make a. You know what? I can if I ever have like a if I ever have like some if I ever have like a get together, I can make like I could try to make like authentic Canadian poutine in a crock pot. And oh, you know what? I may have to try that for Thanksgiving. I will do a very unusual Thanksgiving dinner and cook poutine in a crock pot. And I'm talking authentic Canadian poutine. A substitute for cheese curds and poutine. If you can't get cheese curds, the closest possible substitution if you want the poutine experience would be torn chunks, not shredded, of full fat block mozzarella cheese. Not fresh mozzarella. Use the kind you'd shred to put on top of pizza. You want it in chunks so it doesn't melt completely. Don't be skimpy. Some cheese curds are the size of my baby finger. That's that's part of the poutine experience. The chunks of warm, softened cheese. So that's what a poutine is. And just from that, you know what a poutine is. It's a Canadian dish. Never had it. Like to do it. How do you make poutine gravy? I've included a perfect poutine gravy recipe for you if you've eaten a lot of poutine. Um, some are clearly chicken, some are dark and beefy. I think the perfect one is somewhere in between. I look to French Canadian chef Ricardo for a reliable and authentic recipe. Let's face it, the French Canadians know no poutine. His gravy is 2/3 beef stock and a third chicken stock for a lightened up beef gravy. I don't know about you, but that makes me hungry for a poutine. Um. Okay, so poutine is spelled Poutine, but how you pronounce it is poo, as in Poo, and teen, Teen, poutine. Emphasis on the last syllable. French Canadians might suggest that it should be pronounced as poutine, which is Pootin. But that's like French Canadians. But yeah, that's interesting. That's pretty cool. I ought to try to cook authentic Canadian poutine. They say, okay, so if you go to Canada and get like poutine, they say that like poutine is like a meal within itself, if that makes sense. Depending on the place that you go in Canada, if you order a poutine, like that's like some would suggest that that would be like all you want and need for a meal because it's French fries, gravy, and cheese curds. And but I've never had poutine before. Would like to try it. Really would. Really would like to try poutine. Cook fries and all ingredients. Yeah, see, I can cook all the fries and ingredients. I don't have to necessarily mix them together, which I don't know how they would. I don't know how you would do that. If you wanted Canadian authentic poutine. But you know, I kind of actually wonder if there's places around the USA that will cook poutine for you. Because that would be kind of something to try at a restaurant first before you make it on your own. Because what if you make it on your own and you don't like it? You know what I'm saying? It'd be better to go to a restaurant and try it first. And then if you like it, then make it at home. And I kind of wonder if because there is not a New York fries. There's a place called New York Fries. Don't know why they call it that. I don't know why they named the restaurant that. Right? So let's see, New York fries. New York fries. See, they got poutine. Hang on a second. Do you see that there? Look at that. That is a poutine. A delicious marriage of New York fries, premium cheese curd, and our signature gravy. By the way, it says on here that this happens to be a vegetarian thing. You see, that's why when you take a look at a picture like that, it makes you want some. Now, I don't know, Canada is kind of in a rough shape. But I would just love to live in Canada just for the poutine, just to try it. Let's see the works. A hearty meal, our delicious beef chili over New York fries, topped with real sour cream, trans fat-free cheese sauce, fresh green onions, and real bacon. Oh, poutine. Oh, I see. Those are the different types of poutines. Okay, that makes sense. The classic poutine. That's what that is right there. Is the classic poutine. Shoot, man, I want one. Why can't I have a poutine? I want a poutine. I want one. I want a poutine. Does anybody have a poutine? I want a poutine. Give me a poutine. Anyways, I'm getting a little off topic. So, anyways, So I had this. So I'll be honest. Part of the reason why I kind of came up with a Friday night fellowship is because the guy that I mentioned to you, whose name I won't mention, he's Canadian. A lot of times he does these members only broadcasts from his home, and really not. I would say, as from a Christian standpoint, really not the most appropriate things that he does, because there are some. Let's put it this way: there are some, beverages that that he will have that is not fit for a Christian. But I do enjoy his videos. I don't really necessarily dive into like the members only stuff. I really particularly like his food reviews, and that's kind of what I really focus on is his food reviews and his 24-hour stealth camping. Which, by the way, it's like I don't know about you, but I would love to do like stealth camping. And what he does is he drives like this minivan, and he has and I kid you not, in his minivan, he has all the seats, like all the back seats are completely down or taken out, and what he has is he has a cot. He has a cot in the back of his he sleeps on that cot, and of course when he does stealth camping he'll seal up his windows with like the kind of stuff that you'd put on your your windshield to keep your car kind of cool, keep the heat out. He'd take that kind of material and put it around, and he'll put a big, like, it'll be like a big sheet like on the front of the two seats, so like no one can peek in. But he'll go to different places and he'll camp out, and he'll do stealth camping at different like food joints and stuff like that. And like if he does like a 24-hour stealth camp at like let's say Popeyes, that's like he'll eat Popeyes for 24 hours. Like that's all he will eat. And sometimes he'll do stealth camping, which he'll go to like, if they don't serve breakfast, he'll go to Tim Hortons, which is kind of why I kind of like that's another reason why I like Canada, because they have Tim Hortons. You don't see a whole lot of Tim Hortons around here in the U.S. There are some, but they're more predominantly in Canada. And if you don't know, the Tim Hortons is like the Canadian version of Krispy Kreme donuts. Except Tim Hortons is like better. It's like better, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know, that'd be kind of cool though, just to do stealth camping videos and stuff like that. But unfortunately, I don't know if that's what the good Lord would want me to do. But I just absolutely love watching his channel, because he goes to all these places that I've never heard of before, and it's like, holy smokes, I want that, And you think I make you hungry? You go watch his channel. He'll make you hungry even at 1 o'clock in the morning. He'll make you hungry. But anyway, so like I was saying, is that he does these specialized broadcasts that he does from his home, where it's like for his members and stuff like that. And it kind of got me, I kind of like, that'd be kind of cool if I did something kind of similar to that, but more just taking the time to relax and just talk with fellow brothers and sisters in Christ, and talk with, just have fellowship with other believers, like-minded believers. So these videos I'm kind of trying to test out and see, because I would like to try to do more of these. And if you all enjoy them and enjoy the conversations and the fellowship, then by all means, we'll do more. Okay, because I like to try to do as much as I can. And obviously, they're going to differ here and there. These videos are going to be really just fellowship. Friday night fellowship. Except tonight is Thursday night fellowship. If you know what I mean. Believe it or not, I've been doing this for 57 minutes already. Holy smokes. I did not realize it's almost been an hour. Isn't that something? We've been at this for almost an hour. Oh. Woo. Yeah, time flies. I'll tell you what, I am beat. I am tired. I've been waiting for this weekend for a long time. For a good few months, to be exact. Yeah, so what is new with you? What, I know we, what's new with you? Because I always like to hear from everyone else. I don't want to just sit here and do all the talking. Because here's the thing, I always have things to say, and I don't want to I don't want to be the only one that talks. Oh, man. Anyways. So what is new in everyone's world? How is everyone? How is everyone? Favorite dessert? Well, I'd say pie. There's two kinds of pie that I'll eat. I mean, there's two favorite kinds of pie. I like French silk, and I love coconut cream pie. There's one place that I know of that I can get a French silk pie that is really, really, really good. It's called Village Inn. Village Inn is actually here in Fayetteville. It's just probably... Oh shoot, how far is it? It's probably like 2 miles. 2 miles? 2.5 miles, not even that. 2 miles probably. 1.5 miles, 2 miles. But Village Inn is almost right off the freeway of 49. And that place has some really good French silk pie. Peanut butter pie, I would say that pie would be really rich. And it wouldn't be so much the crust that will do you in, it's the peanut butter that will probably do you in. You know what I'm saying? So when I think of peanut butter pie, I just think of one giant, big old honkin' pie that is extremely rich, extremely sugary, and just, you know what I'm saying? It just, that kind of pie is, that kind of pie you'd think would be very rich. You know what I'm saying? A very rich pie. And by the way, when I say rich pie, I'm not talking money. Pies cannot have $1 million. Not possible. because it's a food item. It's not a human being. But I think you all know what I mean by rich. It's very sugary. It's very, it's very sugary, kind of. You know what I'm saying? It's very sugary. And so I kind of tend to think that peanut butter pie is good, but for me, I'd probably only be able to only have just like one slice of that. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't like have like 2 or 3 slices of a peanut butter pie. I just think it's just a lot of sugar in it. Not saying I don't love sugar. I love sugar. I just sometimes you just have to watch the sugar a little bit. Which for me, I guess is kind of a I hate to say no brainer, but I tend to I probably do take in a lot of sugar on a daily basis, which I work it out with my job and drink a lot of water, so it's it is what it is. Yeah. I think for that one, for a peanut butter pie, I'd probably only want one slice. Now, if it was like French silk or coconut cream pie, I might have a slice or two. And I'm not talking big slices, I'm talking like 2 little slices. That's probably what I do. I like coconut cream because I love coconut, and I like French silk because I don't know. It's just I don't know if it's the whipped cream or the chocolate the shavings they put on top of it, or if it's that chocolate mousse filling. That's kind of like in the middle. I think it's the chocolate mousse filling that really gets you. And when I say that, I mean that in a good way because that chocolate mousse stuff they put on it is like it's good stuff. It is very good stuff. Oh yeah. So in Arkansas, potato chips. What kind of potato chips? Where's my potato chips? All I got is these. Potato chips sound good. Anyways, so I was saying in Arkansas, they are actually wanting to push kettle chips. Okay, that's cool. That's very cool. Kettle chips are good. But anyways, I was saying is that in Arkansas, they are working on trying to get a bill to be heard both in the Senate and the House. And this bill that they want to take a vote on to hear is this bill about protecting the privacy of it. Pretty much it basically wants to protect the privacy of those who choose the right, who how can I say this in a simple way? They want this bill to be heard. Okay, so this bill that they want to be heard is a bill that would protect the privacy of a person that chooses to withhold their vaccination status, and would also prohibit retaliation against employees who exercise that right. So really, what it sounds like is if a person chooses to not get vaccinated and and says that they don't want to get it, the bill would pretty much protect them, protect, number one, their privacy, but would protect them from getting fired. I actually saw somewhere that now, what's the company? Tyson Foods. They're going to start mandating the vaccine to their employer and to their employees, just like Mercy Hospital and all them. Um, and I'm a big believer in people's rights, and I think that people have that right to say no, I don't want to get it because of this reason, and they should be able to do that without having to be fired or having that fear of being fired from your job. We all have rights in this nation. Unfortunately, the way things are going right now is there's a man that I follow on YouTube. He's a First Amendment auditor, and he and his son will go to different places, and they will exercise their First Amendment right to take photo and video in publicly accessible areas of government buildings, such as like post offices and all that stuff. And one of the things that he frequently will mention in his videos is that the Constitution is taking a beating. And we're seeing that under this current administration that our rights are taking a beating. And he also says this too, and I like what he says, that if we don't exercise our rights, they'll go away. And the analogy that he'll give to that would be, if you ignore your teeth, they go away. Eventually your teeth will go away if you ignore them. So when it comes to rights, we have to exercise them because our rights are like muscles, and if we don't exercise them, they go away. And that is something that I like what he says, because I think we all ought to exercise. We ought to be able to recognize what rights we have and exercise them. And unfortunately, we live in some pretty dark times. We live in some real dark times, which is partially why I want to have these fellowship times, because I think we need to have we need fellowship as believers in Christ. We need fellowship, and that's kind of why I want to do these Friday fellowships. Now today isn't Friday, so I'm doing it today because tomorrow I'm going to be watching. I'm going to be actually watching. There's a pastor friend of mine up in Missouri. His name's Pastor Mike. He's having homecoming tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. So I will be watching his services from home. Was actually going to go up there, but things didn't pan out the way that I thought it was. So, which is fine. God's got something better, anyways. So I'm going to stay home and watch the services. So tomorrow night there won't be any. This would be for tomorrow, which we're not doing tomorrow. We're doing today. But I think that as we see the days get darker, we ought to have fellowship with each other. We need that fellowship. And so, I've last week I thought went very well. And I tell you what, I felt really good after that last week's video that I did. I felt really good. I felt really encouraged, and just, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it was just a good feeling, So, anyways, not trying to get too political or anything like that. I tell you what, it's good to come home from work and just chill out for a while, It is. Dutch Crunch. That's an interesting chip. My favorite chip, I would say, is Doritos. I love Doritos. I love my Doritos. I like making homemade nachos, which is um, you take Dorito chips, you take shredded cheese, and you sprinkle that on top of it, and then you nuke it in the microwave for about a minute, and then you pretty much pour salsa on top of the whole thing. It's actually really, really good. I like it. I like it. It tastes good. Maybe not good for you, but it does taste good. So, how is everyone doing today? How's your week so far? How's your day been doing? I hate to be the only one talking. It just seems awkward if I'm like the only. It just seems really awkward if I'm like the only one talking. But it's how is everyone's week doing? I know my week was very tiring. I put in 35. I put in 34 hours for within 4 days, so it was tiring. Um, it's been a tiring week. Very tiring week. So, anybody have any prayer requests they'd like to maybe ask, or anything on their minds? Any questions, comments, concerns, ideas? Whatever comes to your mind. Though we should, the Bible does say that we should not speak. A fool. It says, what was it? A fool uttereth all his mind. So I'm not asking y'all to tell me everything on your mind, but just whatever, whatever pops in our minds. You know what I'm saying? So it is a little warm in here. I could turn on my AC, but if I do that, the noise from it, my iPad will pick up on that noise. I've been doing this for an hour and 14 minutes. I'm surprised Facebook hasn't done anything to kick me off, or I'm surprised that my iPad mysteriously kicks me off the Facebook app, which is beyond me. I don't understand why that is. It seems like every time I try to do a video when it comes to either preaching or teaching on a book, somehow, I don't know why, my iPad just kicks me out of the. I just get kicked out of the app, which is really weird. Yeah, I appreciate that. I need prayers. I need prayers. I had to postpone 1 Peter chapter 2. I had to postpone that video, and I'm postponing it for next week. This next Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday, because when I was trying to do that video on my iPad, it mysteriously just like kicked me out of the Facebook app. And oh man, I tell you what, devil just wants to try to fight me on a lot of stuff, which is fine. I'm gonna have to get used to anyways. That's like my new norm. I'm sorry, I shouldn't talk that way. That's my new normal. It's very interesting in how just everything's going on and stuff like that with our nation. And just out of curiosity, has anyone ever felt just stressed out lately with everything going on? Just, I mean, oh, good point. I don't know. I'm the kind of person that likes to say normal, but there's nothing wrong with norm. Um, I don't know. It's been a long day, so my mind's kind of going everywhere. So I'm not thinking straight. Nothing wrong with the word norm. So yeah, I have a lot of new norms. Man, I tell you what, it just seems like I don't know if any of you've been stressed out lately, but I've just hearing and saying things just stresses me out, and it just makes me want to just yank out my hair. And yeah, so probably it's, but it's God's on the throne; He's in control. I've seen God's provision in my life. I've seen how He works. I've seen all that. So it is what it is, Ooh.
Okay, that's cool.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. I'm just kind of looking at my. It's really weird. Okay, so I'm both on. Yeah, that's true. Let go, let God. Easier said than done, by the way. Easier said than done. What's really weird is I'm doing this on my iPad, and so I'm also looking at my phone. So it's like when I'm doing this, it's just like it's almost like it's either lagging behind, but it's just really funky to see yourself again in another device. That's pretty neat. Woo! I'm thinking about doing a group, creating a group. For those who haven't heard yet, I'm thinking about creating a group called Friday Night Fellowship, and I would stream live through that group. But then I will also use my phone to share it to my Facebook page as well. And thinking about doing that because I think it would have a little bit more of it will be a little bit more neater that way. It'd be more organized. And I also have on my YouTube channel, I have I created a, what do you call it? Playlist of, that I would base, what's this? Oh, I see. Basically, I will upload these videos also to YouTube. I will not do it for sermon audio for reason, just for the main reason is that these videos are not preaching and teaching videos. These are more fellowship videos, So I will only put them on YouTube for people to watch and stuff like that. Though, when I do, like from their point of view, it will look like that I'm just talking like, to myself, and that's not necessarily true. But hopefully, people will take a look at that and say, "Oh well, he's not talking to himself, and by himself, he's got people, typing things and stuff." So, hopefully that it's not too confusing. I'm confusing myself. Yes. 100%. I'm completely agree with you. That's my heart. For me, that's like that. For me, like that's hard because it's like as much as you want to let it go, sometimes it's like things are hard to let go. But I do agree. We do just got to leave it in God's hands because if it's something that we can't deal with, we just have to just let it go. And as what I have had friends tell me is let the chips fall where they may. And so yeah, it's I agree. We just gotta let it and give it to God's hands, and He'll take care of it. I agree. His ways are indeed better. We may not think so at the time, but when we've gone through it and look back, we will realize that, yeah, His ways were definitely better than how we could ever plan it. His ways are better than our ways. His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. And God is so gracious, so good. I know He's been so gracious in my life. Way more than I deserve. I'll tell you that much. Way more than I deserve. And I'll never forget that. I'll never ever forget the fact that the stuff that He's done is more than I deserve. Because at least, hopefully that way it keeps me humble and not puffed up with pride. Because I know, like in my past, I've had a lot of pride issues, and I'll tell you what, God had to deal with me on those. He had to deal with me on those. But it was for the best that He dealt with me on those. Woo! I'm so glad that I have a 3-day holiday, 3-day vacation. It's a 3-day staycation because I'm on vacation, but vacation at home. It's nice to step away, recharge the batteries, rest, do some studying, listen to sermons. Definitely sort of get away from life a little bit and recharge them batteries. I know we all need it. I mean, Jesus even needed it. Jesus even needed to step away even for a little bit to pray and stuff like that, So, that comes to show you that if Jesus had to step away for a little bit, to recharge his batteries, we also need to step away and recharge our batteries from time to time. And, rest is important to God. It's very important. Yeah. I used to work 2 jobs. I used to work at Papa John's along with AutoZone. And I would have days where I would be working about 15 hours a day. I would leave like at probably about 5 or 6 in the morning. Wouldn't get back to almost 11, 12 o'clock at night. And boy, I can only do it for so long, but it got to a point where yep, I gotta cut down the hours. Even cutting down helped, but after a while, even that, it was still maybe it's time to move on. So I, I had to make the, decision to move on from Papa John's. I don't regret it either. I don't regret it. Best decision I ever made. And now I just have the one job. Actually, I take that back. No, I have the one job at AutoZone plus my ministry. My Facebook ministry, YouTube ministry, sermon audio ministry, preaching, teaching. Well, they do have good pizza. Yeah, sometimes I do miss the pizza. I'll tell you what, though. I used to work for a place in Minnesota called Devani's. Devani's is a pizza and hot hoagie place. But you'll only find them in Minnesota. It's only that restaurant chain is only based out of the Twin Cities. They have some of the best Chicago-style deep dish you'd ever have in your life. And I miss that pizza a lot. I miss their hoagies a lot. What part of Minnesota? Well, so if you're asking about the food chain, there are locations in like Minneapolis, I think even St. Paul, Minnesota. There's even some in, I think there's one in Bloomington. I know there's one in Rogers, Minnesota. I used to work at the one in Rogers, Minnesota. I used to do the parades and stuff that they had there, and those were good days. I miss those days. They had one. Let's see. They had one in Brooklyn Park. No, Brooklyn Center. I take that back. Brooklyn Center. I lived in St. Michael, Minnesota. I've lived in Brooklyn Center, Minnesota. I've lived in Crystal, Minnesota. I lived in a lot of towns in Minnesota. I mean, majority of where I grew up, most of my life I grew up in Minnesota, but I was actually, but where I was born in Chicago, Illinois, which Chicago right now is kind of a mess. Bemidji, yeah. That's let's see, where is Bemidji? I know I've heard of the town. I just can't remember. I think Bemidji is more north. Let's see. Yeah, Bemidji, Minnesota is actually more north. It's you've got Bagley, Minnesota. You've got Park Rapids. You've got Walker. It's actually more, Bemidji is kind of. It's kind of down. It's by Brainerd a little bit. I mean, it's north of Brainerd, but but yeah, I know. Yeah, it's. Bemidji is way up there. I served at a church. There's a small Baptist church that I served at in Brooklyn Center. Fortunately, that church isn't there anymore. Found out that a cult actually took over that church. So that church is no longer like as it was. But I served at a small Baptist church in Brooklyn Center, and it was very, very, very small church. I think we'd be lucky if we had like 5 or 6 people on a Sunday evening. It really was not that big at all. I mean, we may have maybe about 10, 15 people during like Sunday morning and stuff, but it really was a very small church. But I served there for about a year and a half, and I essentially started out as a song leader, worship leader. I was hired on. Pastor never took a salary, but he actually did. He was very gracious enough to pay me a small salary when I was there. But I started out as a song leader and led worship, and eventually I actually started preaching even a little bit, and essentially it just kind of it really came down to as when the pastor wasn't there, he'd ask me to cover for him, so I would step in and cover for him. I guess you could say that I wasn't an associate pastor, but I had kind of like the responsibility of like more of a deacon's responsibility. I don't know. There was no title given to me. I was just basically covering for the pastor whenever he needed me, which I would probably more so say that would probably be the deacon, because the purpose of deacons is to really help the pastor when he's not there. So usually if the pastor has gone out on vacation or something, usually it's the deacon the deacons are usually the ones to step up and take leadership in that arena while the pastor is away. That's my understanding of it anyways. But I guess I would say I was probably more of in a deacon's position without that title. But it was, I tell you what, I've had a lot of good memories in that church. There are some things about Minnesota that I miss. There's a few things I don't miss about Minnesota though. Number one is the 6 feet of snow they get every year, and like the below 30-degree temperature weather they get. I mean, it's terrible. In the winters, I think it was a few years ago, their temperatures dropped with windshield. They dropped down to like negative 40 or 50. It was bitter cold. And if I can remember, I think too, if I have it right, that's probably the coldest it's ever gotten in a certain amount of time. I mean, and what I mean by that, meaning there's always a chance that it was like that in the past, but then there's always that period of time where it was not like that till a certain time where it happens again. That's probably confusing, but there are some things I miss about Minnesota, but there's a lot of things I really don't. And the stuff that I don't miss about Minnesota actually makes me thankful that I live in Arkansas. I'd say the only downfall about Arkansas is it gets really, really hot during the summer. But even that is still, you can still live through it. You can still survive. It's not like you couldn't survive. It's not like 30 below weather, minus 30 degrees out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. I moved around a lot when I was a kid, so I was constantly moving, constantly changing schools, constantly making new friends. It was hard. Very, very hard. That's a good question. What brought you down to Arkansas? Well, I will say this. The simple answer, the Holy Ghost. God is the one that brought me down here. And if I'll kind of maybe, expound on that a little bit. I thought I was called to Missouri. More specifically, I thought I was called to Festus, because that's my pastor friend of mine that pastors the church and pastors Bethel Church in Festus. That's where I thought God was calling me. Unfortunately, as foolish as I was to misinterpret a dream, which, by the way, when it comes to dreams, you got to be careful because you don't ever want to just interpret something like that and assume that it's God's will. Don't ever do that. I've made that mistake. It's not a drastic mistake to make, but it's a mistake that you wish, when you look back, you're like, oh, I really wish I would have maybe taken more time to pray about it. You know what I'm saying? So I thought I was called to Missouri. Well, I've learned the hard way that I had found I found a place to live that I thought would be great. But all the doors were shutting like crazy. Like, doors were shutting. I was trying to find a job, couldn't find a job, couldn't find a place. I'm like, okay. And I didn't know at the time that, God was shutting those doors. Well, it took me a round trip from Festus back up to Minnesota, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, which is probably about 500 miles, 600 miles, I think, depending on which way you go. I mean, it wasn't a short trip. I mean, it was a lengthy trip. It was probably about an 8 or 9 hour trip. Okay, so having to go up there and come back to Festus, it took a round trip to realize that God didn't have me to be in Missouri. I had to go further south because I have my mother and my stepdad and my siblings. They live in Siloam. Okay, so it took a lot of gas and a lot of miles to realize that I wasn't called to Missouri. I had to continue going down south, which if you are, Festus is probably about 35 miles from St. Louis. So you're from where I'm at right now. If you were to go up to Festus, you're probably looking about 5.5 hours. 5.5, 6 hours. So I'm like, okay, it's kind of hesitant to come down to Arkansas. But I came down. And sure enough, I came down here. My folks, my mother and stepdad, they took me in. Stayed and lived with them for a couple of years before I moved on my own. So they took me in, so I had a place to stay, place to live. Well, so, that door opens. I'm like, okay, I see. But, even after I moved down here, I was very, I had a lot of paranoia. And that was, the paranoia really stems from the stuff that I went through in my past, which I won't get into. I won't even get into because that's water underneath the bridge. But I had paranoia for the first 3-4 months living down here, and believe it or not, when I moved down here, I had no money. Literally was living off of a credit card. Not a wise thing to do, by the way, but sometimes God puts you in positions to help you realize that it's not good to live off credit, and it's not. Don't ever live off on a credit card. That's a bad idea. Unfortunately, that was my position moving down here. But after I got down here, within 1 month, got a job, and God had opened doors to have me have all my stuff like my car, my title, and all that stuff switched over to the state of Arkansas within 1 month. And so that was a blessing. And it was shortly after that, that as I continued to work, God had provided to pay off my debts, my credit card debts, which I did. Paid off all my credit card debts, wiped them all out clean. God provided with what I needed. Not all at once, but, little by little, He provided what I needed. After that, I closed that credit card down, and for a while, I never really had a credit card. I just lived off of cash. And I'll tell you that looking back, at that point in my life, I can tell you for certain the Holy Ghost led me down here. What was challenging for me was I had to step out in faith to come down here. That was the challenge. And by the mercies of God, I came down here. And I'm very thankful for that. God has a purpose for me being down here. And it's not like I'm going to be down here for maybe a few years and then I'm going back up to Minnesota. No, God has me permanently living down here. This Arkansas is my home. Believe it or not, back in December of 2007, I came down here to visit my mother and my stepdad. And it was actually right around Christmas time that I accepted Christ as my Savior. Arkansas is where I became born again. This state has a very special meaning because I was born again in Arkansas. I got born again in Siloam. And never did I ever realize, okay, so this was back in 2007 when I was 17. Little did I realize that 8 years later, God would have me move down here. Like, seriously, it blows me away. Even to this very day, blows me away. I got friends up in Minnesota that I talk to, and they're very near and dear to my life because I've met them back in 2014 at a Bible prophecy conference. And we actually have a spiritual connection, even from 600-700 miles away. I call them about every other weekend, and we used to, not so much anymore, but we used to talk a lot on Bible prophecy, and we still kind of do, just not as frequent as we used to. But it's really interesting because there are times that I will talk to them and I will make a statement, and it turns out that whatever statement I made had a correlation to, say, whatever they're learning in their church, or they were just talking about that before I called them, or it would send just shivers up your spine. Like, it's just one of those that you sit back and you're like, wow. You just have one of those wow moments, you know what I'm saying? And so they're good friends of mine, and we talk and stuff like that. And so, yes. Woo! It's warm in here. It is warm in here. How long have I been going? Ooh. Have you ever had a period of time when you just sort of barfed in your mouth? Like just out of nowhere, you just felt like you vomited in your mouth? Because I'll tell you what, that's exactly what just happened. Like I felt like I just like barfed in my mouth. Like, ugh. Let's drink some water afterwards. Oh, I'm exhausted. How long have we been doing this? Almost 2 hours. Well, no, an hour and 47 minutes. That's a long time. That's a long time. I can't believe I've almost been doing this for almost 2 hours. That's shocking. Did you know that? I mean, did you know how... Shoot, man, this is like almost 2 hours we've been at it. This is, I know, I'm surprised too. Man, I think we might have to call it a night. What do y'all think? You think we should call it a night? I think we should call it a night. Because honestly, I thought the first hour was kind of slow, and then all of a sudden the conversations picked up, and whoa, it just went by like there's no tomorrow. Like it just flew on by. Can't believe it. So, I think we're going to call it a night. I think we will. Just really quickly before we sign off, what did y'all think about the video? I mean, just this time of fellowship. And what do y'all think? I mean, y'all think it went well? Do you think there's something I could have done better at? Is there something that I should improve on? Just whatever comes to mind. What do y'all think? I think we'll probably close with that. Just like, what do y'all think? I'll tell you what I think. I feel warm. Now I know how dogs feel when they have a whole bunch of fur on them. Because I'm wearing a robe. I'm wearing my robe. And it's, don't know why I'm wearing it. Shouldn't have worn it, but I did. And it's like wool, so it's like, it's warm. So I've been feeling really warm. So, anyone? Any comments, questions, concerns? Anything like that? Yes, no, maybe so. Wait a little bit. Oh, excuse me. Well, I suppose we should head out for the evening. So, listen, I appreciate you guys all tuning in. And for those of you that will watch this video, you know, hopefully, hopefully be a blessing. And I just want to apologize ahead of time if I've embarrassed anyone or if I put anyone on the spot. I'm not trying to do that by no means. So if I did offend anybody, I apologize. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I just want to have some nice fellowship time and some good questions. And just simply just kind of giving my testimony. I didn't want to get too detailed because a lot of what I went through in my past is gone. It's water under the bridge. No need to bring it up. I'm very thankful for being down here in Arkansas. I really am. This is home. This place is home. So, I just want to apologize ahead of time if I've made anyone feel uncomfortable, or anything like that, So I do apologize. Love you guys. I do. And hopefully you guys are looking forward to the next one. I know I am. I think I'm going to keep on doing this too because I think this is nice. I think we need to get together and just talk. Just talk, have a nice time, get a snack, and and it's Oreo. The only butterball snack. Oreo. I'm kidding. I'm just joking. Just kidding. Ooh, praise the Lord. Okay, so speaking of next week, no video Sunday, but next Tuesday, God, Lord willing, gonna redo 1 Peter chapter 2. So if y'all haven't read that yet, go ahead and read it. Next Friday we'll do another one of these, and then a week from Sunday we'll do a message. Okay, so y'all pray for me. I need to get back. I need to get back to doing videos. I also need to get back into doing Bible readings. Oh man, I feel really overwhelmed, but I'm kind of taking this time to wind down and do a staycation and recharge my batteries. That's what I need. I don't know. Can you all tell? Can you all tell if if I look tired? Because I feel tired. I do. I feel very tired. I feel exhausted. I might look. I don't know. You could probably tell I look a little tired. I feel. Look at it. I think I'm a little red too, just because of the heat. So. Anyways, hey, listen. It is 8:55. It's getting late. We gotta get going. I know some people have got to wake up in the morning, so early. So y'all gotta get some sleep. And I'm gonna stay up and get some rest. That's what I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna go to sleep. So, but listen, I want to thank you all for tuning in. It's good fellowship. And hopefully, it'd be good. What's really funny? I saw there's another person online here, but I'm not. Anyways, so. So I'm gonna call it a night. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna call it a night. So You guys have a good night. Love ya. And can't wait to fellowship again. Guys, have a good night. Have a good weekend. God bless you guys. See ya.